These 5 SHTF firearms could be the last ones worth owning before 2027. In this video, we're counting down 5 SHTF firearms that could still be worth owning before 2027. From a cheap-to-run rifle built for practice to a proven platform with deep parts and ammo support, each solves a different emergency need. Stay until the end, because number 1 is not the most powerful gun here. Number 5. Ruger 1022. The Ruger 1022 takes the 5th spot because the first problem in any long emergency is not power, it is practice. A firearm is only useful when its owner can handle it safely and hit a clear target under normal range rules. That skill takes time. It also takes ammunition. This is where many large rifles and handguns become costly. People buy them, fire a few boxes, then leave them locked away for months. The 1022 changes that problem. Ruger first made the rifle in 1964. In December 2025, the company said more than 10 million had been produced over 61 years. That is not a short trend. It is one of the longest and largest success stories in the rimfire rifle market. Ruger still builds the 1022 today, and the basic design remains easy to recognize. The rifle fires .22 long rifle ammunition. Those rounds are small, light, and usually cheaper than common centerfire rounds. A person can practice more often without spending the same amount needed for 9mm, 5.56, or .308 ammunition. That low cost gives the 1022 a job the other guns on this list cannot match. It can be used for basic range practice and lawful small game hunting where local rules allow it. Its light recoil also makes it easier for many new shooters to learn safe control without fighting a hard kick. The rifle uses a rotary magazine and a simple semi-automatic action. After one shot, the action loads the next round. This makes the 1022 easy to enjoy, but it also brings a warning. Rimfire ammunition is not as dependable as good centerfire ammunition. A weak round, dirty action, or damaged magazine can stop the rifle from cycling. The 1022 is also not a large game rifle. It cannot do the job of a 12-gauge shotgun, a .308 hunting rifle, or a centerfire rifle. That is why it ranks 5th instead of 1st. Its real value is support. More than 10 million rifles create a huge reason for Ruger and other companies to keep making magazines, stocks, sights, and replacement parts. A rare survival gun may look clever, but it can become useless when one special part breaks. The 1022 is not rare. It is also easy to carry with other emergency gear. That matters when food, water, medicine, tools, and clothing must come first. A heavy firearm can take space and weight away from items that may matter more. Still, no one should confuse small size with no risk. A .22 rifle is a real firearm. It needs secure storage, safe handling, and training. Local laws also decide where it can be owned, carried, or used. The 1022 solves the cost and practice problem better than anything else in this countdown. But when a person cannot carry a long gun, the Ruger loses its main advantage. That brings us to number 4. A compact firearm built around one of the most common handgun cartridges in the world. Number 4. Glock 19. The Glock 19 earns 4th place because it fills the role that no rifle or shotgun can fill well. It is compact. Glock launched the Gen 6 line in January 2026, including the G17, G19, and G45. The current G19 Gen 6 remains a compact 9mm pistol, yet the reason it belongs here is larger than one new generation. The Glock 19 has been known for decades as a simple service-style handgun. Its frame is polymer. Its controls are limited. Its design has been used by police, private owners, and trained professionals across many countries. That wide use matters in a long emergency. A model owned by many people is more likely to have known maintenance steps, common magazines, trained armorers, and available replacement parts than a rare pistol that disappeared after one production run. The 9mm cartridge also helps. Major ammunition companies still make many kinds of 9mm ammunition for range and lawful defensive use. It is smaller and lighter than shotgun shells or .308 cartridges. That does not make it weightless, but it makes the Glock easier to keep with other gear than a full-size long gun. The G19 is also easier to store than a rifle. For people who must leave a building during a flood, storm, or fire, space matters. A compact handgun can fit into a legal locked transport setup without taking the room needed by a long case. But this section needs an honest warning. A handgun is harder to shoot well than a rifle. A rifle touches the shoulder and gives the shooter more points of contact. A handgun does not. Its shorter sightline and lower weight make every mistake easier to see on the target. A person who buys a Glock and never trains may be less prepared than someone with a basic rifle they know well. The Glock is also not a hunting tool for most people. It cannot replace the Ruger for low-cost practice, the Mossberg for shotgun rolls, or the Savage for lawful big-game hunting. Reliability claims also need limits. No Glock is magic. Magazines can be damaged. Springs wear. Dirt can enter the action. Bad ammunition can fail. Poor changes made by an owner can reduce reliability. A trusted design still needs inspection and proper care. Another issue is law, handgun ownership, transport, magazine limits, and carry rules change by country, state, and city. A legal owner must check the current rules where they live and where they travel. So why does the Glock 19 stay on the list? Because a serious emergency may force movement. Roads can close. Homes can flood. Power can fail. A compact, common 9mm pistol is easier to keep with a legal emergency kit than any long gun in this countdown. But compact size comes with less range, less stability, and fewer lawful field uses. The next firearm gives up easy carry for much greater choice. With the right legal setup, one action can handle birds, small game, some large game, and sporting use. Number 3. Mossberg 500. The Mossberg 500 takes third place because it is not tied to one narrow job. Mossberg introduced the Model 500 in the early 1960s. The company still sells many versions today. Current Model 500 field models use twin action bars, dual extractors, steel-to-steel lockup, an anti-jam elevator, and a top safety that can be reached from either side. Those parts explain why the gun has lasted. But the real strength is its wide family of barrels and setups. A field barrel with the correct choke can support lawful bird hunting. Other factory barrels are made for different sporting or hunting roles. Mossberg even sells combination packages with more than one barrel. This lets one action serve more than one job without asking the owner to buy a full second shotgun. That sounds perfect for emergency use. But shotguns always collect wild claims. Some people talk as if a pump shotgun cannot fail. That is false. The shooter must move the forend fully back and fully forward. A weak or incomplete pump can cause a stoppage. The action can also become dirty, damaged, or worn. The shotgun is dependable because it has a proven design, not because it ignores poor handling. Ammunition is another strength and weakness at the same time. The 12-gauge market includes many kinds of shells made for different legal uses. That makes the shotgun very flexible, but those shells are large and heavy. A box of shotgun ammunition takes much more space than the same number of 22 or 9mm rounds. Recoil can also be hard. A light 12-gauge with a strong shell can be uncomfortable for a smaller or new shooter. That may lead to poor control or less practice. Some owners may do better with a 20-gauge model, but they should first check local ammunition supply and make sure the firearm fits them. Fit matters more with a shotgun than many buyers expect. If the stock is too long, the safety and pump can be harder to reach. A gun that looks strong in a store may be a poor choice when the owner cannot control it well. The Model 500 also needs the correct barrel, choke, and ammunition for each lawful task. A shotgun is flexible, but it does not turn every shell into the right shell for every job. Owners must follow the firearm manual and local hunting rules. Its long production life gives it a major edge. A design that stays in the market for more than 60 years builds a large base of parts, service knowledge, and owner experience. that is far more useful than a strange emergency shotgun with special parts and no support. The Mossberg works best for someone who wants one manual action with several lawful field roles. It is useful on rural land, farms, and hunting trips where legal. It is less useful for someone who must walk far with every item on their back. This is why the Mossberg stops at number 3. It is flexible, but the ammunition is bulky. It is proven, but recoil can limit the owner. It can cover several jobs, but it cannot give the same reach and accuracy as a good centerfire hunting rifle. Number 2 solves that problem with one of the oldest actions in this countdown, and a cartridge known across hunting stores in North America. Number 2. Savage Model 110. The Savage Model 110 takes second place because it proves that a simple rifle does not have to become outdated. Savage introduced the Model 110 in 1958. The company calls it the longest continuously produced American bolt-action rifle. In 2026, Savage updated the Model 110 family with new stock and action features while keeping the old name alive. For this list, the best version to study is one-chambered in .308 Winchester. The .308 is a common centerfire rifle cartridge used for target shooting and many kinds of lawful big game hunting. Major ammunition companies still load it. It is not cheap or light, but it is far easier to find than an unusual cartridge that only one factory supports. The Model 110 uses a bolt action. The shooter lifts and pulls the bolt to remove the fired case, then pushes it forward to load the next round. That action is slower than a semi-automatic rifle. It also has a major strength. The system is direct. The rifle does not need gas pressure to drive a cycling system. A wide range of proper factory ammunition can be used without tuning a gas action. A bolt rifle is still not maintenance-free. The bore can rust, the stock can crack, the optic can fail. The magazine extractor or firing parts can wear. The rifle survives through normal care, not neglect. The optic is one of the most important limits. Many modern hunting rifles come without iron sights. Owners add a scope and then depend on it for every shot. If the scope is damaged during a fall, the rifle may have no quick backup aiming system. A strong mount and regular checks matter, but nothing should be treated as impossible to break. Welt is another concern. A Model 110 with a scope, sling, and loaded magazine can become tiring on a long walk. The .308 ammunition adds more weight. Recoil is also much stronger than .22, 9mm or 5.56. This means the Savage is not the best learning gun on the list. It is not the easiest gun to carry in a small kit. It is not the fastest gun for close targets. Its role is clear. Accurate centerfire rifle work and lawful hunting at distances where a rimfire or handgun is the wrong tool. The long history matters because survival value is not only about what a rifle can do on day one. It is about what happens 10 or 20 years later. A model line that has lasted since 1958 has already passed through factory changes, new owners, new cartridges, and new hunting trends. Savage also announced a broad new Model 110 family in 2026. That shows the company is still putting money and factory support into the platform instead of letting it fade away. Still, the Model 110 is a special tool. It gives power and reach, but it gives up speed, lighter ammunition, and easy close-range handling. That leaves one final firearm. Number 1 cannot beat the Ruger on ammo cost. It cannot beat the Glock on compact size. It cannot beat the Mossberg on shell choice or the Savage on big game power. It wins because it balances more of those needs in one supported platform. Number 1. Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 3. The Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 3 takes number 1 because it sits in the middle of almost every key test. It is a current AR-15 pattern rifle chambered in 5.56 NATO. Smith & Wesson lists a 16-inch barrel, a mid-length gas system, and a free-floating handguard on the standard model. The current official price begins around $799, though store prices and legal versions differ. The Sport 3 itself is fairly new. but the wider M&P 15 line has been in the market for years. More important, the AR-15 pattern is not supported by one company alone. Many manufacturers make rifles, magazines, grips, stocks, sights, and common replacement parts for the platform. That wide market is the main reason this rifle takes first place. If one company stops making a small part, the full platform does not disappear with it. But the phrase "all AR parts fit all AR rifles" is false. Different calibers, barrel systems, gas lengths, receiver types, and local law versions may need different parts. Owners must use parts made for the exact firearm and should have important work checked by a trained professional. The 5.56 cartridge gives the rifle its balance. It has less recoil and lower weight than .3008. It has more range and power than .22 long rifle. Major ammunition makers still produce both 5.56 NATO and .223 Remington loads. However, owners must follow the markings and manual for their exact rifle. A cartridge that looks close is not always safe for every chamber. The M&P 15 Sport 3 is marked for 5.56 NATO, but that rule should never be guessed on another rifle. The rifle is also easier for many people to shoot accurately than a handgun because it is held at the shoulder. The adjustable stock on standard versions can help fit different adults, where legal. Its free-floating handguard gives space for a legal sight and a simple light without putting pressure on the barrel. But equipment can create a new problem. Owners often keep adding heavy items until a light rifle becomes tiring and hard to use. A simple rifle that the owner understands is better than a crowded rifle built for looks. The gas system also needs honest treatment. The Sport 3 is semi-automatic. Fired gas helps cycle the action. That gives fast follow-up shots at the range, but it also means the rifle depends on correct ammunition, sound magazines, lubrication, and working parts. It is not a gun that should be stored for years and trusted without inspection. The AR pattern also faces the most legal risk on this list. State and local rules may limit the rifle, its magazine, stock, grip, muzzle parts, or other features. Some places may ban the model or require a different factory version. Current federal materials do not announce a nationwide January 1, 2027 deadline for buying this rifle. The date in the title is urgency, not a confirmed national cutoff. Buyers and owners must check the current laws where they live instead of trusting online panic. So why is it still number one? Because a useful emergency firearm must do more than win one test. The M&P 15 Sport 3 is easier to carry than a shotgun or .308 hunting rifle. Its ammunition is lighter than both. It gives more range than a handgun or .22 rifle. The AR platform has broad parts knowledge and current factory support. It can serve in lawful target shooting, training, sporting use, farm work, and some hunting roles, where the cartridge and rifle are legal, yet it cannot replace everything. The 1022 is cheaper to practice with. The Glock is much smaller. The Mossberg handles a wider range of shell types. The Savage carries more power for many big game hunting jobs. That is the real lesson of the countdown. There is no magic SHTF firearm. A dependable gun is only one small part of a serious emergency plan. Clean water, food, medicine, first aid, safe shelter, light, communication, and a way to leave danger may matter long before any firearm does. The right choice also depends on the owner. Beatty size, home type, local wildlife, legal hunting needs, budget, storage, and training all change the answer. A person who cannot store a firearm safely should not own one. A person who cannot afford regular practice should choose a simpler plan. A person who ignores local laws can turn a bad emergency into a legal disaster. These 5 firearms earned their places because they have current support, common ammunition, proven designs, and clear jobs. But the firearm most likely to help is not the one with the loudest title. It is the one a lawful owner can store safely, maintain correctly, and use with calm skill when everything else stops working.